Alright, so today for breakfast, we're going to be making an omelet. So to make the omelet, we have 3 eggs, we have some mushrooms, red peppers, onions, tomatoes, and a bit of salt and pepper. Okay, now we're gonna add everything that we mixed up, the eggs and the vegetables. Alright, now we're just gonna add the cheese in the omelet. Now we're just gonna put it on the plate. So after letting our potatoes boil for about 20 minutes, we just take them out and you wanna make sure they're not too hot because now we're just gonna be grating it. Alright, so now we just put our potatoes that we grated on the pan. Just kind of cook it up a bit. Alright, so now just grab some salt once you flatten it out. That's how you flip it. Flip it. Alright, you see how it's nice golden brown? That's how we like it. We don't want it any darker. You could just add a bit of salt to this side too. Not too much though. Now you just wait for the other side to brown. And that'll be your hash brown. Alright, so now onto the smoothie. We got the blender out. So now we're just gonna add our fruits in, just right. That's 1 cup of fruits. That's pineapple, mango, peach, and banana. Also some strawberries. Then we got 1 cup of milk. Alright, now we're just gonna puree it. Alright, so now we're done blending our smoothie. Now just drop it in. So I just cut up some avocados, you know, great superfood, great for everything, and then added just a bit of green onions on the top of my omelet. Alright, now for lunch we're gonna have a fresh harvest bowl. So I cut up my vegetables. We have 1 red onion, 1 pound of Brussels sprouts, and 2 sweet potatoes. So I'm just gonna put these on this parchment paper, and I already preheated my oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, now that we got everything in our tray, you wanna grab 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Now we're just gonna grab a bit of pepper, and just a dab of salt. And just a bit of thyme, not too much. Alright, so now I'm just mixing it all up. So I'm just making sure everything's put together. Just kind of want to flatten it out a bit. And this should be good. Now I'm just going to put this in the oven as it was preheated at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to keep it in there for about 25 to 30 minutes. So as we let the vegetables just roast, we're gonna start with our chicken. So I just wanna get 2 teaspoons of olive oil, like we did with the vegetables. And again, we have 2 chicken breasts. Okay, so now we're just gonna add about 2 pinches of salt, a bit of pepper, not too much, and then just a bit of paprika. Alright, so now just one at a time, take the chicken, make sure your hands are clean. You just want to mix everything together. Alright, so now after we put all our seasoning on the chicken, we're going to put it in the oven at 425 Fahrenheit, just like our vegetables. Alright, now onto our rice. So we have 2 cups of brown rice. So we're just going to put this in our rice cooker. And then we have 4 cups of water. Now I'm just gonna add a teaspoon of salt. Alright, so we're just gonna turn it on and we're just gonna let it sit there for about 20 minutes. Alright, so now I'm getting started on the dressing as our rice just cooks right beside us. So I'm gonna start with a 1/4 cup of apple cider, which I already poured in here. Now I'm gonna get a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Now I'm gonna add 2/3 of a cup of olive oil, half a shallot, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of honey, a bit of salt, and a bit of pepper. Now you just gotta whisk it up. Alright, now our vegetables are done cooking, our chicken's done cooking, and so is our rice. Now we're just gonna get our kale set up. So we have 2 cups of kale, which we already washed. I have a 1/4 of a cup of sliced almonds, which I'm gonna put in. So now I'm gonna also add half a cup of cranberries, and we also have a 1/4 cup of shaved Parmesan. Alright, everything's ready. Now we just need to set it up in the bowl. So we're gonna start with our rice. We wanna put a good amount of rice, maybe half of the bowl. Alright, now we're gonna add all our vegetables. A bit of kale. It's time to add the chicken. Now I'm just gonna add the dressing. So that's all. This is your lunch for today. And as you see, there's a lot more that you could use because it's for around 2 or 3 people. Alright, so now for dinner, we're gonna be making gnocchis with tomato sauce, a green salad with quinoa. So I already peeled and chopped my potatoes and put them to boil for 20 minutes. And I already rinsed my quinoa and put it into boil for 15 minutes. So for the salad, I cut up 1 celery, 1 red pepper, and half a cucumber. So we got our greens over here washed already. Now we're gonna add our celery, cucumber, and red peppers, and our quinoa, which is a full protein just by itself, and it goes great with all these greens. I also got my dressing that we made for lunch. Now we just mix it all up. So on the potatoes that we mashed, I put 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Then I started kneading the dough. Once it got soft, I rolled it up and just put a towel on top of it and let it rest for about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna add the olive oil to the pan that we heated up a bit. And now we're gonna add 1 garlic that we chopped up. Just gonna move it around a bit. Alright, now I'm gonna add my tomatoes. I cut up 2 tomatoes. So again, move it around a bit, get everything cooking. Now I'm gonna add some basil. Now we're just gonna let it sit there for a bit. And it should be done in about 20 minutes. It's been 10 minutes since we let the dough rest. So now I'm just gonna cut it up and roll it. Now I'm just putting the gnocchis in the boiling water. They'll probably take about 2 minutes, but once they rise to the top, they're done. So now I'm just moving the gnocchis around in the sauce, Trying to get the sauce in those grooves. Trying to get everything to cook evenly. So that's it for our 3 meals. Hope you guys liked it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And that's it.